Hello everyone. Today we look at something that is more of a passion project because a lot of people start their CNC journey with an inexpensive machine, and that is where you can reach the most people. I wanted to make something that is still affordable but far more solid and reliable than what you normally get in this price range. From a business perspective, it's quite challenging for a small company in Switzerland. The margins are small, and to make it worthwhile we will need to sell around 10 to 20 machines per month. That is certainly possible, but it's a big goal for a small team. I did not want to leave the entry-level segment to the cheap imports, so the idea was to design a much better machine without increasing the price. That is how the RUIX Core was born. Here you can see the standard configuration of the machine. Travel is 780 in X, 630 in Y and 130 mm in Z, with a maximum feed rate of around 6 to 12 meters per minute. The X-axis is a bit longer than Y, which gives the front of the machine a more open layout and makes working on the machine easier. Let us start with the most important point. As always, there are no T-slot nuts. The RUIX Core uses custom aluminium extrusions with up to 7 mm wall thickness. All threads are cut directly into the material. Full-size HGR15 linear rails are mounted on precision machine surfaces in order to guarantee perfect straight alignment. The X-axis is bolted directly on top of the Y-axis bearing blocks. This design makes the machine extremely rigid. The X and Y extrusions are identical parts, which are simply machined differently. One extrusion is milled on the front for rail mounting and the other is milled on the top. This reduces cost because only one extrusion die is required. Most plate parts are produced from laser cut and powder coated steel in 4 and 6 mm thickness. This saves a significant amount of cost compared to milling parts without losing any stability. Both Y-axis extrusions are high enough to sit flat on the base, which adds additional rigidity. Speaking of base, the RUIX Core is designed without the base frame. The machine is simply bolted to an MDF sheet from the hardware store. This 15 mm surface milled and black anodized aluminium base plate with 143 M6 threaded holes, which you can see here, is optional. It is highly recommended for anyone who intends to cut aluminium and other metals and adds around 33 kg of weight to the machine. All axes use TR8 lead screws which are preloaded on both ends. They run with machined POM anti-backlash nuts and not those cheap injection molded ones. The screws are driven by closed-loop stepper motors with 2.2 Nm of torque on every axis. All axes run on full-size HGR15 rails and bearing blocks with medium preload, not those flat MGN rails often seen in 3D printers. The spindle mount is designed for 65 mm routers or spindles. This machine here is fitted with a very affordable 710 watt router with ER11 collets. We are currently waiting for the first sample of those for testing. It's basically like a Makita router but made for ER11 collets, so much more usable for CNC use. We have to order 300 units in order to meet the minimum order quantity, so we hope that the machine becomes popular. Of course, a standard Makita or whatever else brand router or a real 65 mm spindle with VFD can also be used. The control system is our well-known Dominator Control 5-axis controller. It offers everything that is realistically needed. The standard version is not standalone. It connects to your own PC through Ethernet. The controller includes an integrated safety relay and a status light in the front, which is unique in this price class. On the controller there are outputs for 5-axis steppers or servo control with alarm feedback, limit switch inputs for those, door switch, mist, flood, spindle control, spindle fan, auxiliary outputs, encoder input, SD card, probe inputs and operator panel connections and much more. Everything is installed inside a compact steel enclosure, together with our common 350 watt power supply with active PFC in order to meet EMC requirements. A standalone version with integrated computer is also available, and the extra cutouts on the front panel are intended for that version, with HDMI and 2x USB. The machine supports automatic gantry squaring. It uses 4 inductive limit switches, so one on each side of the 2 Y-axis. The gantry can be aligned precisely every time it is homed, even if it has moved out of position for any reason. The cable chains are identical to the ones used on the standard RUI Mark I, and there is plenty of space for cables inside. Perfect time for a direct size comparison. The RUI Core fits perfectly on the table of the standard RUI Mark I, as you can see. Now to the topic that most people are waiting for, the price. The RUI Core is expected to be sold for 1,950 Swiss francs, which is around 2,080 euros, excluding taxes. This price is for a machine that is pre-assembled in Switzerland. It is not meant to be a kit. The estimated assembly time for you is 3 to 4 hours, not days like with full kits. Each axis is already pre-assembled and all cables are already prepared. The only additional items you need to start cutting are an MDF board from the hardware store and a 65mm router or spindle. The special ER11 router that we mentioned will be available at a very affordable price. Here you can also see a datasheet with all dimensions. You can pause the video here if you want to take a closer look. I am confident that this is one of the best machines you can buy for this amount of money. We will try to keep the price as low as possible for as long as we can, to keep this machine affordable for beginners yet powerful and precise enough for experts, makers and small businesses. And the best part is, for the first small batch of 30 machines, everything has already been ordered. The custom extrusions, the sheet metal, the drive components and all machined parts are currently in production. Assembly will start soon and delivery is planned for February 2026. This brings us to the end of this overview. I am very curious to hear what you think about the RUI Core. Does the concept make sense in this price range? And do you like the design choices? What would be important to you if you were looking for an entry-level CNC machine? Feedback will help us improve the final product. If you want to support this project, sharing the video, leaving a comment or telling someone who might be interested is already very helpful. Thank you for watching, and I hope you are as excited about the RUI Core as we are. I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you in the next one. Tschüss and goodbye.